So I plan to do some videos, a number of videos, because there's been a lot of uh, news out there. What else is new, right? But even more so than usual. And some of it is great, and I think it's a turning point and really exciting. But much of the rest is downright terrifying. So I had a lot to say and probably a lot of videos to put up. But given the recent events in Annapolis, I don't really, for a number of reasons, I don't really feel right going through all of this stuff tonight. Probably I'll put some stuff together tomorrow, depending. I may be traveling. But with the location and with the journalism factor and with another mass shooting, it's tiring. So I'm just going to talk a little bit about that, and then this weekend I'll put something together on a number of issues, and also I wanted to give my thoughts on, as much as I hate talking about it, some of the back and forth between different factions, Democratic Party. I love talking about that aspect. I don't like talking about the 2016 Bernie Hillary stuff because it's over, but I have to touch on some of that. But that's not for today. It's doesn't feel appropriate. I don't really honestly have the heart to do it right now. So, with regard to the shooting in Annapolis at a local newspaper, I don't want to jump the gun too much, as much as I probably already have on Twitter, but with regards to saying who it is until more information comes out with the suspect. But I think this brings back a number of things to the forefront that in the coming days need to be discussed, need to be brought up. But some of them probably won't be brought up. But obviously gun control's there. We got to have those tough conversations. And I never considered myself that much of a radical on gun control, but every mass shooting, I wonder, there's got to be a better way than what we're doing now, flooding everything, everywhere, guns, and the whole notion that, oh, everyone's armed. Seems like some people are saying we just got to arm everybody. It's just not a good idea. So I don't know the exact answer other than some common sense things like initially background checks, bump stocks, when you have a real hard debate about assault weapons, certainly high magazine capacity, and then go from there and see what's there. Certainly I don't want to. I've always been kind of pro Second Amendment, but all these events the last year or two made me really have to reconsider. On the other, but that's been hashed, and we've seen that this Congress is going to do anything. The Democrats are pretty limited in their power right now. It's a really demoralizing issue, honestly. I don't have a good answer for that. With regard to the other aspect of this one being in a newsroom, that's also something that has to be looked at, and in particular as more information comes out about the suspect. But we have to ask, again, our questions. I'm all for, my feelings on civility are well known. I'm not saying we got to have a choir boy kind of discussion. There's going to be some nastiness. There's going to be, some heckling and things like that. And there's going to be criticism of the media. I've been very harsh in my criticism of the media. I don't apologize for a second for that. But at the same time, we have to be careful. There's lines. You can't call media enemy of the state. You can't talk about violence. You talk about violence, talk about enemy of the state. When you have these alt-right people like Milo Yiannopoulos talking about, wanting to gun down journalists, and then a few days later, journalists get gunned down. That's not a good. That's messed up. And really, I think, and I posted earlier, I said that anybody who wants to talk or even bring Milo to the forefront, including liberals, supposed liberals like Bill Maher, they should be ostracized, because I don't support free speech for Nazis. I believe in free speech, but you got to draw a line. And these people are dangerous. These people are a threat, and these people are going to lead to a lot more problems. And it always blows my mind that if you don't refuse to serve someone in a restaurant, even frickin' Bernie Sanders is gonna kind of not support you. That was actually gonna be one of the things I'm talking about. I mean, I'm a Sanders supporter and everything, but even he won't go on that ledge for you, other than Maxine Waters, well, no one does. But these people are constantly given a platform to talk, and it's getting tiring, really. And then you have the president of the United States, and again, it's one thing if I'm making criticism. Who the hell am I? I'm a nobody. But when the president's out there and calling the media the enemy of the state, you can criticize the media. That's perfectly fair. It's not an unusual thing. Like I said, I do it. But you call them the enemy of the state. You call for violence against them. You have members of your congressional caucus who have committed violence against them. And you got to start asking questions. And they naturally seems like no one probably will, because we want to keep a moral equivalence between the left and the right. And there really is none at this point. There isn't. And if you think there is, I'm sorry, you are enabling Nazis. So, but anyways, I just wanted to put that out there. I will have more content up in the coming days among bringing in a lot of these issues, ranging from the upset in the New York 14, which is a very promising thing, to some really terrible Supreme Court decisions, and then the retirement of Kennedy, which is particularly terrifying. And then my take on a lot of the sniping back and forth between different factions of the Democratic Party. A lot of that stuff will be coming up, and Lord knows there'll be more news, good, probably more bad than good, but hopefully some good news at some point too, that I'll be covering too. So, anyways, I am going to say thoughts and prayers to those who have lost their lives and who are injured and working there, but in the whole city of Annapolis, which is a beautiful and really good city. Very fond of it. I've only been there a couple times, but I have a lot of fondness for that city, and really for this whole state. It's not my home state per se, but it's an adopted state, so I have a very soft spot for it. But at the same time, we really need to ask hard questions. We can't just do thoughts and prayers. That doesn't do anything. In the end of the day, we have to really ask hard questions about what can we do to make this stop, because this is tiring. This has got to stop. So, anyways, that's all I have to say tonight, and until next time.